Now let's talk about network media. Network media is going to be what those bits actually are transferring across and how those bits are transferring from point A to point B. One of the most common ones is copper. Copper is exactly that. It's a metal that has electrons all the way through it. And what we can do is we can apply power to it, which means those electrons, what power is electrons are moving through that wire. That's what power is. And kind of think of it as like a bike chain, as when you pedal, you're moving electrons through there. So copper is these electrons that are moving through it. And so what will happen is if we are trying to send data through copper, we are turning the power on and off, or allowing those electrons to move forward, or we are stopping the electrons from moving. And if we're stopping the electrons from moving, then that would be a 0 or an off. There's nothing that's happening. Or we are causing the electrons to move, and that would be a 1, a 0 or 1. So the way we transfer information is we turn the power on or off, 0 or 1. The electrons are moving or they're not moving. Fiber is interesting because fiber is actually using glass and lasers to get information from one side of it to the other side of it. And light, it's just your light, like your light switch, if you're turning your light switch on and off. So a light switch off would be a 0, a light switch on would be 1, or in this case, the laser on would be a 1, the laser off would be a 0. And that gets sent in one side, and what's happening on the inside of this is light is reflecting off the sides of this piece of glass and getting reflected all the way to the end, and it comes out at the other end, and then we have an instrument at the other end that's reading that light being on or off. There is a sheath that goes around this outside that protects it, so to make sure that glass doesn't break, because it is glass and it is actually bendable. It's such a thin piece of glass, we can actually bend it. But if you bend it too far, this can break, and then you'll have a problem, and that cable will not work anymore. That fiber optics will not work anymore. So this is fiber. Fiber is awesome. It goes for longer distances. It can be, once again, that fiber optics cable can be a little bit fragile, so you need to protect it. And but a lot of our backbone networks are using fiber. Then we have wireless. Wireless is really fascinating just from a physics standpoint, because what we're doing is we're manipulating radio waves in the sky as it's sending across. Hey, like my videos? Hit that like button. And so we've got these waves that we're moving from one point to another. Really common, we use a 5 gigahertz range and a 2.4 gigahertz range. And there's reasons why those are the two ranges that we use. And it's based off of what is allowable usable ranges. And so we'll talk more about that when we get into our layer 1 discussions. But wireless uses waves through the air, similar to radio, to send signals from one point to another.